Sarah Zanetti.
Hello.
Nice to meet you, Detective. How are you?
Good. Let me ask you a question. How old are you?
Excuse me?
How old are you?
This evaluation is about you, Detective. Let's focus on you, okay?
I mean, how long are you doing this job?
I've been doing this for 3 years.
Oh, wow. 3 years. A whole 3 years? Is that just part of 3 years? Almost 3 years? I mean, how does that work?
You're in here because a complaint was filed against you on January 5th by Dr. Hobbs, the emergency room physician. According to him, you assaulted him. So this is no joke, Detective. Whether you like it or not, I'm the one holding the evaluation. So why don't you just give me a break?
All right, look, you seem like a real nice girl and all, so I'm sorry, okay?
Thank you.
How about we start this over again?
Great. Do you mind if I record this?
No, go ahead.
Okay, let's just keep it simple. Why don't you just tell me about yourself? Tell me why you became a police officer.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I guess I thought I could help people. Do some good in this crazy world, you know? I would imagine that's what a lot of guys answer when you ask them why they became a police officer. Some guys may laugh. Some guys may be a little bit bitter. Doesn't mean that they don't mean it. Just means that they have a little more experience under their belt.
Cute, Detective. Why don't you tell me about your first assignment?
My first assignment, wow. My first assignment was a 6-2 precinct. Midtown South in the Garment District. Fresh out of the academy, had my spanking new uniform on. Young Irish cop flirting with all the Puerto Rican girls in Times Square. And you never forget your first call. I'll never forget mine. On the way over, I'm thinking, here's my chance, right? I'm gonna be a hero. I'm gonna save some woman. Well, I get to this door. I knock on the door, and this voice says to come in. So I walk in, and there's a guy sitting there, and he's crying. And I'm like, what's this? All of a sudden, another guy, a big guy, he's bigger than me, curlers in his hair, pink bathrobe on, walks right out of the bathroom, walks right up to me, puts his arm around me and says, "Officer, I really love this guy, we just can't live together." I'm like, what are you fucking kidding me? He says, you better have a talk with him. I says, me? What am I gonna say? I don't remember going over this in the academy. For 2 hours I sat there and I talked to these two lovebirds. And when I left, I'm the one that needed therapy. Where were you then, honey?
I've been here. Things don't always work out as we plan.
You could say that again. I got a call one day that a guy, right in the middle of the afternoon, decides he's had enough and he wants to jump off a building in Manhattan. I get to the apartment, this little old man answers the door. I walk in there, I says, what's going on? He goes, he's out the window. I walk over to the window and there's nobody there. I turn back around to the guy, I says, what are you, nuts? There's nobody out there. He goes, he's hanging. I go, he's hanging? He goes, yeah, he's hanging. I walk over to the window, right? Now, I didn't notice this the first time. Sure enough, there's these two little hands, and the guy's hanging there from the fire escape. I have no idea what to do. I call it in. They says, don't do anything. Just stay there. We're sending over a negotiator. This guy's an expert in these situations. I was like, geez, thank God, because I have no idea what I'm doing. You had to see this guy that shows up. Hot dog in one hand, cup of coffee in the other. He looks up to me. He goes, where is he? I go, he's out the window. He says, hold this. He walks over to the window. I says, he's hanging. He walks to the window. The guy goes, don't come near me or I'm going to jump. He looks him straight in the face. He says, look, pal, I really don't care if you jump. But if you're going to jump, jump now, because I'm not going to waste my whole afternoon goofing around with you. I couldn't believe it. He reaches right down. He grabs the guy by the collar, pulls him right into the window, pulls him right back into the window, turns around to me, grabs the coffee, grabs the hot dog, looks me straight in the face, and says, did you see them fucking Yankees lose that game last night? That's what I said. I laughed too. I says, what are you kidding me? I says, this is the professionals that they send over? I says, come on, give me a break. Huh? Nobody really cares that much. It didn't take me long to realize that this whole job isn't what I expected it sometimes, you know? I mean, you think about becoming a cop, you think of all the things you've seen on TV when you were a kid, you know? Car chases, chasing down bad guys, kicking a few doors in, but it's nothing like that at all, you know? You're some sort of social worker out there. But the difference is it's not television, okay? You're dealing with real people, with real problems. You have husbands and wives fighting, nasty fights, you know? But the people who get hurt the most are the kids. See, because a kid is stuck in a situation, you know? They can't just get up and say, you know what, I've had enough. They can't leave it. They're stuck there. They have to deal with it. And that can hurt. I remember going to this one house, and it wasn't the first time the cops had been called to this house. They'd been gone there on numerous occasions. They always dispatch a female officer to deal with the wife, and they used to dispatch me to deal with the husband. Now, from 2 blocks away, I can hear this argument going on, and it's a bad one. I mean, the names they're calling each other, they're cursing, they're screaming, they're throwing things at each other, and it's nasty, okay? It takes us 20 minutes to get these 2 people apart, and I finally wrestle this guy away, and I turn over, and there's this little girl sitting there. And she couldn't have been more than 8 or 9 years old. And she was just sitting there staring at a TV that wasn't even on. And I was thinking to myself that I don't even think she knows I'm in the room. Well, I turned to leave, and she jumped right up off that chair, and she grabbed me real tight around my thigh, and she said, don't leave me here. And it took every bit of strength I had to pull those 2 little hands apart, you know? And I knelt down and I said to her, I says, look, don't worry about it, all right? I says, everything's gonna be okay. She looked right through me. Kids know when you're lying. Well, we had to leave, and I remember getting back in the squad car, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, you should have did something, you know? You shouldn't have just left it there. I mean, you should have did something. I don't know what, but I said, I'm never going to feel like that again.
I understand that these situations can be emotional, but, you know, the system has put things in place,
Please,
and I believe in the system.
Don't start talking to me about the system. What do you know about the system? You believe in the system? What do you know about anything?
It's taken me a long time to get where I am, Detective.
A long time? I'm doing this 18 years. 18 years I'm doing this, and you're going to tell me about the system? What about Emmanuel Gomez, huh?
Who's
Emmanuel Gomez? Don't you know that name? Let me tell you how the system's working for him. He's the 5-year-old that I brought into the emergency room that night. He's the 5-year-old that got raped by his uncle, okay? And none of the city doctors wanted to look at this kid. The regular city doctor wasn't on that night. And I said to myself, what's going on here? Why doesn't anybody want to examine this kid? And then I found out later what the problem was. Everybody's afraid about getting involved in a lawsuit. Nobody wants to have to get up on a stand and testify whether or not there's semen in a baby, whether there's fingerprints or tear marks on a kid. So I grabbed the guy. I grabbed him by the collar and I says, look, I'm not leaving here until somebody takes a look at this kid. And that's what this complaint is about, right? So if I'm wrong, what do you want me to tell you? Take your little report, put in there whatever you want to do, because you know what, honey? I really don't give a shit, all right?
Detective,